Hey there, Taurus Sun, Taurus Moon, Taurus Rising. Welcome to the reading that is for this week. We are between the eclipses. Happy solar return to you. We are into your energy. So that eclipse that we had on the same day that we moved into your energy was pretty intense. I was really pretty drained from it. And so I asked Spirit if this week we could have some really simplified, straightforward messaging, which I know you will truly appreciate too. But how was your eclipse experience? Because we're about to have another one this week coming up. And this one is going to be opposing your sign. And I think you're going to find that pretty intense. So, would love to hear from you about how that played out. All right. So an eclipse is about clearing space, right? It was a new moon solar eclipse that we had. So that was about clearing space so cutting something out in order to bring something new in. And the next one is a full moon eclipse, which is totally about releasing. And these are both showing up in this reading here in a major way. And so I really do want to know what was going on for you, because whatever it was, I just want you to know it was lucky. Okay, you are in the energy of luck, and so whatever is happening for your benefit. It is not happening to you, it is happening for you. There's a lot going on here. There's a lot of sudden decision making that you're making from your heart that is going to totally transform your situation, as it should. When you have the North Node in your sign, there's a lot going on. I do want to remind you that over the next year and a half, as the North Node is transiting through Aries, that'll be an integration period for you. And so all of these changes and the shifts that you're making now, kind of in the now energy, then you're going to need to find your feet again and reintegrate into the new energy of who you are and get to know yourself. And so I want to invite you to take the next year and a half at a gentle pace for yourself and really nurture and care for yourself along the way while you're progressing forward. Absolutely, you're going to be moving forward, but I feel like you're making some choices to really leave some stuff behind. And so this big transition here, it's very intense in a lot of ways, but it's definitely for your benefit. And so allow yourself to navigate this with kindness towards yourself, that you're not going to get everything right all the time. You didn't get everything right before. And honestly, if you were always right, you wouldn't need to be here, because part of the growth experience here on planet Earth, on Earth School Earth, is definitely comes from the making choices and decisions and seeing how they play out, and what did I learn from that, and how did I grow, and how do I want to make the next choice. And so there's always, life is just a series of choices that provides opportunity to grow. Your overall energy here is the rider. The rider is like sitting here looking to the past. So here we are in this energy. We have Mercury in retrograde, and on May 1st we have Pluto moving into retrograde. And so there is really a lot of reviewing going on, but there's this peeked out from behind it, and it's news and information. And so there's some kind of information that allows you to proceed forward, but there's almost like a delay in it. And of course, with Mercury in retrograde, there would be a delay in information coming through that's kind of holding things up. But when it comes through, you are off to the races. Because the key to the situation is this very decisive, let's cut this out energy. I'm done with that. I'm done with that. Whatever that is. And so this transformation, we have the card of the book of the closed book of secrets. So some Lenormand decks will have a book that's open and closed, and some will just have a closed one, and some will have an open one. This one comes with a closed book. And so whatever this big, there's still a lot of secrecy around the transformation. And this transformation is happening in your heart space. So this is secret desires of your heart. There's something deep within you. It is a reprogramming coming through your heart space. What was of value to you before, what mattered to you before, your values have changed in some way, and it's creating a conflict within you, because there's the stability you've already created, but there's the change you want to create. But I think you're like, you know what? I deserve what will make me happy. So this healing energy in what's draining your energy is trying to allow yourself the time and the space to heal. But this is definitely the death and the rebirth and the heart space. And so there's some kind of energy that's really affecting your heart, that's undergoing a major transformation. What do you anchor your energy into is the mice, which is interesting because this is the house of the mice where the healing is. And so anchoring into that healing. And so allowing yourself to recuperate at a very slow and steady pace, trusting the process. And I feel like for some of you, because the struggle, the challenge has been the anchor. The challenge is unshackling yourself, pulling up the anchor and moving on to a new career, a new relationship, a new place of residence. Some kind of a change is a huge change that made you feel safe and secure. You know, if you're graduating from college and you're going out into the work world, well, you felt very like you had you knew what was going on at college. Like you understood by the time you were ready to graduate, you already got the system down, blah, blah, blah. And now you're going to go out and find a new situation. And so it's kind of that energy. It's like leaving the old to get to the new. And there's a lot of unknowns around it. And the answers that you're going to find are going to be by following what's going on in your heart. But again, in the area of action to take, we have the card of luck. And so I feel like opportunities will present themselves and you'll be like, oh, that was lucky that happened when it did. And I just want to remind you, it's not luck. It's actually your spirit guide team working very hard to create the synchronicities for you. And so as long as you can really trust the fact that you are where you're supposed to be, doing what you're supposed to be doing at any given time, and the opportunities are being presented to you, I'm always in the right place at the right time with the right people, the right opportunities. When you open yourself up to that, a lot of things start to fall into place. So here in the area of resources, you have the tower, and the tower in Lenormand is not at all like the tower in tarot. In Lenormand, that means that you are safe and you are secure. You have a higher vantage point. You are protected. Okay, this is very much a card of protection. And so you are very protected as far as financial resources go. And so where you've been worried about your security and stuff, I think that they're trying to say that wow, that situation may have shifted. It doesn't look like it did like 6 months ago or whatever, right? And there's a lot of reasons, a lot of economic changes going on or structural changes within your own personal dynamics that are causing this shift to happen. You've got Uranus in your sign. It's going to create shifting energy. And Mercury, which rules sales and merchandising and stuff like that, is in your sale. And he's doing a retrograde. And so there's a chance to review and revise any business plans that you have, any things that you're doing with your finances. Before, okay, so, oh wow, all right, so Uranus is at 16 degrees, okay, 17, 18, maybe he's moving forward a little bit now, but this retrograde period is that Mercury is doing, the reviewing place, it's between 5 and 16, and so it doesn't come into exact conjunction with Uranus until after retrograde, which means that this reviewing process that you're doing, this looking back and forth over the books and where your money is going and how you're structuring your things in your life and where all that stuff is, by the time Mercury clears its shadow, then it comes into conjunction with Uranus within, I haven't looked, but I'm going to guess it's within days. And so now I'm going to look because I can't stand that. But while that is happening, here's what's going to happen for you. There is going to be a sudden choice, a sudden decision, a sudden aha moment, and you're going to see what needs to be done and be able to make a change that is really beneficial for you. And so Mercury is going to actually come into conjunction after it clears shadow, which is June 1st, clears the shadow on June 1st, and it comes into conjunction with Uranus on exact conjunction on the 4th of June. So that first week of June is very pivotal in the decision-making process that you have around something financial in your life. And there is going to be a sharp decision point that comes for you. And it says begin today, though. This is for the energy for this week. Begin today. Small steps will make big changes. And so you already kind of know which direction you're going in. So follow the intuition and the guidance that you're receiving along the way. You're very protected in this, and there's a lot of luck involved in this. But so these small steps, they're small steps, but by the time you get to that first week of June, something major really shifts and changes in the financial structure of your personal financial structure. And so be keeping your eye open to those opportunities. Now, as far as in the heart space here, where we have all this heart energy that is undergoing a renovation, they just said, okay, so we have renovation, right? Mercury in retrograde always brings up the RE words. And then of course, Pluto in retrograde is also going to bring up the RE words. And as it retrogrades back into Capricorn, it is going to be again in trine with any points or placements that you have in Taurus that are in the last 10 degrees of Capricorn. And so in that energy of this flow of renovation, of reconstruction, of really understanding, you have the card of forgiveness. And so the lily here says you're having trouble forgiving, right? This is also the card of forgiveness in Lenormand. And so you're having trouble forgiving and healing a situation. And I think this is an opportunity for you with this energy that we're in right now between the eclipses and this big portal opening here to really stop blaming yourself. Stop shaming yourself, stop blaming yourself, and stop shaming and blaming others. Like things are what they are, lessons were learned, things happened, and then this is where we are. And from here, where do we go? And in doing this, you allow yourself to transform and transmute this energy. And over the course of the next year and a half, to really allow the healing to come in. And this forgiveness, it feels like it's forgiving yourself for mistakes that you made, but they're not mistakes. They're learning and growing process. If you can't get it right every time, and this idea that we always have to do it right, or we need to stand here and wait forever, and then when we're absolutely sure it's right, then we make a move, and then because we took so long to decide that was the right move, well then I must be on the right track, and for me to go back and say, oh, I didn't get that right is really hard, because I put so much value on the fact that I don't mess up because I thought things through. But the truth of the matter is that nobody gets out of here without making some missteps, because that's where the lessons are. And out of the lessons come the blessings. And so you can't have one without the other. And so this need to like hold tight to some kind of a choice or decision you made is holding you back from actually healing and growing and becoming more abundant. So here we have the man holding a coin. This is taking action toward improving your financial situation. So there is a lot here. So I feel like there's a couple of things at play. And so it could be that you are kind of being hard on yourself because of some financial decision you made, and you need to stop blaming yourself and get over it. That's what they just said. Those are not my words. And so let it go and see when you harvest wheat, the straw actually has value too. There's nothing was wasted, right? You know, you're going to sell the seeds, the wheat seeds, and that's why you raise the crop. But the straw also has value. So there was value in all the aspects of it. And so some of them have maybe per pound greater financial value, but that doesn't mean that there's not money to be made on all of it. And so whatever this thing is, this lesson, this growth, this opportunities, this whatever, there's a lot of luck and protection in this, and you are right where you're supposed to be. And this is going to allow you to increase your financial situation. You're stepping into a period of abundance, but it is going to allow the next year and a half for the integration to happen. And if you focus on worrying about what you've lost, whatever little downturn or major downturn, I'm not quantifying it. Okay. So whatever the downturn was, if you keep looking at that and feeling a sense of lack, you're never going to get to the sweetness. Because that's the energy that you're choosing to live in, is in lack. And when you're in the energy of lack, you attract more opportunities for Okay, so when you say, oh gosh, I don't have, I can't have, I just messed up, whatever words you're speaking to yourself out loud or in your head, that is the energy you're putting out, and that is what the universe is going to reflect back to you. But instead, if you say, I learned, I grew, and I have these great ideas and these new tools and these new talents, and I'm going to take those and I'm going to repackage them in a new way, and I know how to make money and I can do it again. Done it before, I can do it again. Done it before, I can do it again. And that is the energy that will be reflected back to you, and you will go. But you have to begin today. You have to make some kind of a decision today. The key to the situation is a decision. You have the card of begin now, begin today. Now is the time to begin. But it's a small step that leads to a big change, right? And mice are small. And so also I want to say anchor into the small energy of taking the small steps. And I've never looked at the mice card this way, but I do think he's very thoughtful and he's looking at what is the next small step I can take. And I think that is a way for you to look at how to really anchor your energy and overcome this challenge that seems to be draining you and making you feel bad about you. Taurus, don't feel bad about you. Because if that's the way you feel, that's what you're putting out there. And that's what will be reflected back to you. So instead, whatever happened, however it happened, consider yourself lucky because you don't know what you have avoided in this current energy. So it's sort of like, I get frustrated sometimes when I'm stuck at one of those 4-minute lights and I'm like, oh my God, I gotta get some light. But I don't know that had I managed to get on the tail end of that light before it turned red, if I would have been able to go, that somebody wouldn't have tried to cross in front of me and I might have accidentally hit somebody. You don't know what you're being protected from. So rejection is protection and redirection. And you're being redirected toward a greater abundance. Really. The Tower and the man holding the coin. That speaks of a lot of abundance in the future. All right, you guys, I'm on Facebook every day. Taurus, in this journey that you have, in all the steps that you're taking along the way, there's stories and there's things you've learned, and there is nothing better than knowing that you're not alone in this process. And that's why I really invite you to share bits and pieces of your story here, because then other people could go, oh my gosh, I'm not the only one having that experience. And so I really invite you to help and support the Taurus community by your presence here, by little bits and pieces, or liking somebody else's comments so that they know that they're being seen, they're being heard, and that what they're going through is valid, and you resonate with it also. It is it's an easy way to support others in this journey that you are on. So I invite you to do that. I'm on Facebook every day. I generally do astrology. I have to say this week, Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, were very channeled deep messages. The rest of the week was pretty much light, bright astrology as I prefer on that channel, but there you go. So head on over there and check that out. If that is something of interest to you. Warning. The Sunday one was 18 minutes long. If that's not in your jam, that's okay. I think it was like 3 minutes by the time we got to Saturday, so they're not always that long. All right, you guys take great care. I'll talk to you soon.